Hi, welcome to Wasted Lunch, perfect place to waste your lunch. Time is 12:01 Oven Standard. I'm Paul McVeigh. What is going on this beautiful, glorious Wednesday? It's mucky and yucky outside where I'm at. But that's how the weather's doing here. There. Big weather report. Can't talk Pokemon right now. Doing a show here. Been playing Pokemon. What? Why are you mouthing words at me? My daughter is going. What? I don't understand you. Been playing Pokemon here with the cards. Let's see, it's been about 50-50 playing this Pokemon game. With myself winning about half of them and my daughter winning about half of them. But she's a big Pokemon fan. She loves Pokemon. Pokemon anything. Cards, hats, stuffed animals. You got a Pikachu hat or is it a Pokemon hat? Just in general.
Yeah, none.
You got a hat. You got a Pokemon hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is it just Pokemon in general, or is it a Pikachu? As you see, behind me, I've got wrapping paper all over.
Yeah.
Still not done with all the Christmas present wrapping for this season. I don't know if I'll ever be done. But that's one of those things ends up usually happening late night. That's how that happened last night. Late night wrapping. But you got a lot of kids. Usually you're going to have a lot of presents. You got a lot of wrapping. Oh my gosh, you guys should have seen me how I used to wrap presents back in the days. I was horrible at wrapping presents. When Teresa and I met and first wrapped presents together, oh my gosh, they turned out so horrible. They looked like all the presents I was wrapping looked like some kind of satanic origami creations or something. It was pretty bad. I was pretty bad at wrapping presents. What's up, Sean? How we doing, dude? Sean Stout is joining us. He's talking about how bad at wrapping gifts I used to be. I've gotten a lot better. Teresa taught me how to wrap presents better. Sean's throwing a wave out there. Yeah, I've gotten a lot better at wrapping presents. There are still challenging presents to wrap, though. You know, those odd-shaped things or squishy presents, those give me a lot of trouble. I'll admit it. I am not a master wrapper. Yo, what's up when it comes to squishy packages and things like that. I'm not very hot when it comes to those. That's when I have to get creative with the wrapping, you know. And I'll tell you one thing I've discovered over wrapping lots of presents over the years. Because I used to, like I said, when Teresa and I met, up to that point, let's just say I didn't put the most effort into wrapping gifts, okay? I didn't put a lot of work into that. I'm going to turn off the light behind me because it's kind of glaring and that might bother somebody's eyeballs. So let's try that off right now. There we go. 1 clock's going off. It's a little slow. It's just now, I guess, deciding it's 12 o'clock. But anyways, Jonah's joining us too. What's up, Jonah? What's happening? Talking about wrapping gifts. Talking about how terrible I used to be at it. I used to just do enough to cover the dang present. That's all. Jonah says, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too, sir. Hope everything's going swell for you guys.
No one.
But yeah, I did a horrible job at wrapping gifts. Terrible. You know, sometimes I remember one of the things I wrapped when Teresa and I, our first Christmas together, I wrapped something. It looked like some kind of insane lunch lunch bag puppet. The way it came out, it was horrible, terrible. So she taught me a lot of tips and tricks for wrapping gifts. But still, there are those odd gifts, you know, that are smushy or strange shaped. Or here's one of my personal gifts that I hate wrapping are something square with a handle that sticks out of it. I don't like those. Sean says Harvey Finkel for president 2020. Nice. Yes. Or was he Harvey Krinkle? Was that what he was, or Harvey Finkel? But how about you? I mean, you got any of you guys? Jonah says the mascot of the show, the wasted lunch bag puppet. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, Mike Lentz joining us. What's up, Mike? How you doing? Good afternoon. Yeah, could use a paper bag puppet. Yeah. That'd make a heck of a mascot, wouldn't it? Yeah, how about you guys out there? You guys like wrapping presents? Do you make an event of it? Is it something you gotta schedule? You gotta work that into your schedule, wrapping presents, or is it something that, you know, you just, the second you get a present, you go ahead and wrap it? I know I don't do that. I can't get away with doing that, you know. Got kids running around, you can't wrap their presents right in front of them. Well, I guess you could. It wouldn't be that much of a surprise, though. But you got to be careful about it. Sean says, my bad, it was Krinkle. Yeah, Harvey Krinkle, who made a cameo appearance the other day on Wasted Lunch. Let's see. Jonah says, I prefer to bag the gift. I'm not the best at wrapping a gift. Yeah, well, here's the thing, and I'm taking a guess. I could be wrong about this, but I wonder if it's a guy thing. And generally speaking, if us guys are just not naturally have the knack for wrapping gifts good. And I say generally because, you know, there's going to be that guy out there who's like, well, I've always wrapped gifts. I love wrapping gifts, you know. And, but is it a guy thing where most of us dudes are just not naturally inclined to wrapping gifts very good? But, Jonah, I hear you about the gift bag thing. Now, gift bags are great for those odd, funky things that are not square or rectangular, you know, that are smushy, you know. Those are good for that. That's really good. But then you have the gifts that you cannot wrap like that or bag up. You'd have to have a gigantic gift bag for that. But, you know, it's funny. Mike says that guy is a homo. Okay, that guy who can just rap right off the bat is lighting his loafers, is what Mike's saying. He's not a masculine man. But yeah, maybe it's a guy thing. I think it might be because we used to get terribly wrapped gifts from our uncles. I mean, horrible. I also had an uncle he's a very cheap guy. He wrapped gifts in newspaper. Not kidding. Let's see. Jonah says if I had to currently wrap a gift, I would attempt to, but it will look like the gift went through a combat zone and back. Sean says gifts aren't the only thing, guys. Bad at wrapping, if you know what I mean. Oh gosh. We just in less than a second, it went from lighthearted joking about us guys' inability to wrapping gifts and season's greeting kind of stuff to that level, just like that. Mike says, I don't buy them and I don't wrap
Dad,
them. It's the
what
missus'
TV?
job.
Dad, you want TV?
Go on.
Let me clean my mess up.
Yes, clean your mess up first.
Hey.
Nice. I hear you also about the I don't buy them. I'm terrible at buying gifts. Now I do choose gifts from time to time, but my wife is usually on that. I mean, she chooses a vast majority of gifts, so when we give somebody a gift, I'm usually surprised too. Honestly, I'm just like, oh yes, that's what we got you. Yeah. Jonah put a lady laughing symbol. I don't know if that's in regards to, I think that's in regards to Sean's comment. Jonah puts, Sean, this is why you are here. JK, JK. Well, luckily not everybody wraps up, or else, we wouldn't be here at all, right? Mike says, hello, Helen.
Hi.
Helen says, hi. Once again, she's home, sick, although I really wonder how sick she really is. I woke up to her storming down the hallway. Although she's so sick, I almost got ran over by her when I came out of my room because she is running down the hallway because she is so sick. Yeah. Fibber is what we got going on here.
We're running real fast.
Yeah, well, you're running real fast, but you're supposedly sick. That's my point here.
No.
Yeah, I don't think you're sick. I think you're feeling just fine. Mike says, sick. Yeah. Quote. Jonah put quote unquote sick. LOL. I had those days. Yeah, I think this is one of those days. Sean says, I'm not just terrible at buying them, I'm terrible at knowing what I want. My mom still doesn't have everything for me. I'm bad with that too. I'm bad with that. Any other time of the year besides the time leading up to Christmas, I have ideas about things I could really use and I would like to have, and then when I get asked, well, what would you like for Christmas, then I just clam up and forget. Sean says, I think she's filming Helen McVeigh's Day Off. Sean believes you're still working on that movie. It's still in production. Helen McVeigh's Day Off, yeah. No, she better not steal my car. I don't have a Ferrari or anything. She's going to have to steal an older model minivan and drive around town with her friends. I'm getting the most peculiar looks right now from her as she sorts her Pokemon cards through her fake illness. Don't give me that look. When you frown at me, you look like a bulldog. Yeah. A bulldog with sort of a hammerhead shark's mouth. You know? Jonah says, hell, I get asked what I want, and I would be grateful for a damn pair of socks. You know it's sad when you are okay with clothes. Yeah, what the heck is wrong with you? I mean, you're what, 18, 19 years old, and you're grateful for a pair of socks? Which, I mean, it's good to be grateful for a gift, period. Because, somebody didn't have to get it for you. But, when you coming off with that mentality, I mean, you're going to get stuff like fish ties, for Christmas. Ties that look like fish. Paul the meanie. I'm a meanie, huh? Why? Because I said Helen looked like a hammerhead shark? Well, she gets a frown on her face. I don't know best to describe it, Shark face, I'm horrible at choosing people's gifts. I really am. And, I could know somebody for my whole life, and then when it comes to actually being in the store looking for something for them, I'm like, unless it's like I'm getting something for somebody who's a sports fan and I know their favorite team, that's easy. That's easy. It's like, okay, I get them a Steelers mug or something, or a Browns scarf or something, silly like that. That's easy, you know, when there's like a favorite team, you know, those people are easy to buy for. But when you're talking about buying something for a lady, it's like, oh my gosh. Because if you get something that's really useful, you could look like an ass over it, you know, like you get them some kind of thing for helping make food or something, then you look like a misogynist, you know. See, Jonah says, I miss the days where I wanted every toy I could come in contact with. Santa had a handful when it comes down to me. I hope I am on the nice list. And has fingers crossed. Mike says, when Paul buys presents, everyone gets fruitcakes. Yeah, fruitcakes for everybody, because I know everybody hates them. You know, I'll quit pretending, quit even trying. Does anybody eat those fruitcakes? I wonder that. I've never eaten one. My teeth are afraid of those damn things. I wouldn't even attempt to eat one. I think they look scary and disgusting, but maybe I'm missing out on something. Jonah says, now introducing the most appropriate gift this season for the ladies, flap stick. Yeah, that could come in handy, especially this cold season. Sean says, because Paul is a fruitcake. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for the love. Appreciate it. Fruitcake, eh? Mike says, makes a good doorstop. The fruitcake makes a good doorstop. Sean put, just kidding, Paul. Sorry, I love you. Much love back at you, brother. Yeah, I see those fruitcakes every now and then. Where did I see those damn things at? Big Lots. Big Lots. And, you know, when you see food stuff at Big Lots, I always wonder just how old is that stuff. You know, seeing food stuffs at closeout stores, I really start to wonder how old is that stuff. And, you know, some of those products are like from Belgium, Germany, and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, this is shit from like World War II era. And, you know, because obviously those fruitcakes last a long time. I mean, they must be made with lots of preservatives, because those things sit around for a long time. Sean says, I never had one. I've never had one. Yeah. Same here. They look disgusting to me. But like I said, maybe I'm missing out. Maybe I'm judging a cake by its color, you know, by its many different colors. But they've never looked appealing to me. I'm not a big fan of bakery that has fruit bits in it, little pieces, parts of fruits. That's never wanked my crank, so to speak. Turn it down! Turn it down! Jonah says, I agree with you, Paul. They get sent over in a crate and get lost somewhere, all to end up in the store. Yeah, I think that's what the hell happens to them. These fruitcakes, and obviously nobody wanted them. Sean said, Paul is a cakeist, like an atheist. I used to hate cake. I used to not eat cake. All right, up until 8 years ago or so. I don't know. My wife got me into eating cake again. For years, I didn't eat cake. I mean, I would be polite on my birthday if somebody made me a cake. I'd have a little tiny piece of cake. I hated cake. Jonah says Paul is prejudiced when it comes to types of cakes. Yes, I guess so. Especially when it comes to the fruit cake. Mike says no, like a racist. Yeah. I hate fruitcake, although I've never eaten it. Well, there's a lot of things I haven't tried that I know I don't like or wouldn't like. Sean says Paul thinks they all look the same. They all look the same to me. I can't tell one from the other. I'll admit, though, I have bought some of those cookies from Big Lots before. I've bought some of them babies. And I have a weakness for those round blue tins of Danish butter cookies. You guys know the ones I'm talking about. they got the little cookies that look like pretzels and shit in there with the big chunks of sugar baked onto them. I really like those. In fact, you know what? I think I have a... Where the hell did it go? Of course, now when I want to show you guys, I don't have it. I had a mini tin of those. I got my stocking for St. Nicholas Day. Got a mini tin of those Danish butter cookies. Those are bad. I could eat lots of those. Jonah says, where the tin then turns into a sewing kit. Yeah. Well, when I was a little kid, I liked it when those got emptied by me. But use those as drums, too. Boom, 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 boom. Use those as drums, and the good old coffee cans, those make good drums, too. But nowadays, I prefer the contents of the tin as opposed to the tin itself. And that stuff's bad for me. I'm really weak when it comes. I'm like Santa Claus when it comes to cookies. Mike says the same ones our grannies used to keep their sewing shit in. Yeah, well, and that's what Jonah said. Yeah, they turn into sewing kits. It's so funny. It's kind of a universal thing, you know. I remember. You ever mess around with your mom or your grandma's sewing kit and end up stabbing the living shit out of yourself? I used to do that. Now, I didn't purposely try and stab the shit out of myself. I always get fascinated with the pin cushions with all the pins and needles in there and have to play with it until I stuck the shit out of myself. You know. Mike says Jonah and I are on the same plane today. Yes. Well, it's funny, and sometimes, have you ever seen the movie Repo Man? This one guy who works at works for this repo place, talks about there being a collective consciousness, and how you'll be thinking of something, and then somebody else will say it, and then another person will say it the same day, and that shit's been happening a lot with me. People talking about stuff that I have just started dwelling on or reflecting upon for the first time in years. And then I'll hear somebody talk about it that same day. It's really weird. Sean says, all I heard was, you ever mess with your mom or grandma? No, I never messed with them. That's asking for trouble. Jonah says, I can picture you sitting on the damn pins. I never did that. I'd end up getting stabbed in the hand or fingers with them. I'd somehow stick myself in the hand. That's what would happen to me. Always do that shit. I never knew a damn thing about sewing. One time I played with the sewing machine once. Ended up running my finger under that needle. That felt fantastic. I'll tell you that much. Ever run your finger into a sewing machine? It doesn't feel good. Yeah, I thought one time I'm going to mess around. I think I took a t-shirt or something, tried to run it through the old sewing machine. Ended up yanking my finger into there. Mike says, many times I'd go to Grandma's house and that tin would be on the counter and be pissed there wasn't cookies in it. Yeah, it's always a letdown. Sean says, my cut is healed. Good for you, Sean. Glad to hear it. Jonah says, regardless, it does not feel good. No. That's a funny thing about getting hurt. It never gets old. Never gets old. It's always got that same old feeling, doesn't it? And, you know, I think usually the older you get, the less accidents you tend to have. Knock on wood. But you get hurt again, and then you remember that good old feeling. And see, Mike says, I ran sheet metal screws into my fingers before. And that sounds painful. I haven't done that. I haven't done that. The last little painful job I did was slamming my thumb with the hammer. The scab just came off today, actually. It was right here. A little dimple there is all that's left of it. Smashed my thumb with a hammer. Felt delicious. Jonah says, I would use a sewing machine at my neighbor's. I remember I made a quilt before I was like 8. Jonah must be part Amish or something. Jonah was making quilts before he was 8. Old Jonah Bailey Burger. Yeah, Jonah likes to make the quilts. He makes the quilts. He's part of a quilting bee. I don't even know what the hell a quilting bee is. I've heard of them before. I think they're a real thing. I'm not sure, though. I never made a quilt. Never did any serious sewing. Let's see. Mike says, I did that yesterday. Made a quilt or hit your thumb with the hammer? Boy, I did it good, too. I did it good. I don't half-ass anything. I made sure I slammed the shit out of my thumb. It still hurts. The scab is gone, but the thumb still hurts. Jonah says, sheet metal screws. Ouch. I've burnt myself on a screw before. Don't ask, LMAO. Yeah. Let's see, you had a screw and then some burning sensation afterwards? Is that what happened, Jonah? Oh, man. Okay, Mike says thumb. Okay, so you smashed your thumb the other day. Yeah. Never gets old, does it? Never gets old. Always feels like the first time, don't it? Feels like the first time. Very first time. Yeah. Yeah. That's my horrible attempt at singing. But that's about how it is. Never gets old. Wow. Man, wait, what did somebody say? Okay, Jonah said something about burning himself. That reminded me. One time I burnt myself with a wood burner. I didn't burn myself bad, like a large area. Okay, because, once it touched my thumb, I didn't leave it there, but it just barely touched my thumb, and in less than a second, where it touched it, there was a complete burn mark that was black, like a burnt hot dog, instantly, almost instantly. It burnt my thumb that bad. It was like a burnt, blackened hot dog where it touched it. Jonah says, I've also had my fair share of hitting my thumb with a hammer in construction. All Mr. Moeller heard was, son of a bitch. Yeah, that's usually the standard reaction to the old thumb getting clobbered by the hammer. Son of a bitch is a good one. Sean says, gotta go to therapy today for my back. Well, I wish you the best of luck in therapy. I hope it helps you out, really. Therapy is a whole job chore in itself. I did 2 months of that therapy stuff for my back before. I hope your therapy goes well, though. But, and I don't know if... Oh, Sean says, see you later, bye. All right, see you, Sean. You got to go right now for your therapy. All right, well, good luck with that. I hope it helps you out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's see, Jonah says, my friend stripped a screw and I went to take it out of the 2x4 by hand. Well, it burnt my thumb. I had a screw mark on my thumb for a few days. Wow. Well, that's the thing. Power tools, can spin them babies at an insane rate. Alas, my power drill / screwdriver / whatever you want to call it seems to be biting the dust. It's sad. It's really sad because it's an old DeWalt one, and it's always been a good tool, and now it seems to not want to work sometimes, so I don't know what's going on with it, but I'm going to have to get a new one. So, one, it's sad because it was my dad's, So that sucks. That it's not working. And two, you know, a new one of those quality ones, they're not cheap. Those are not cheap tools. You know, if I want to get a comparable one, it's not going to be cheap. Let's see. Mike says quilting circle at Jonah's house tomorrow. Yeah, we're all going to be there. You're going to be sitting around telling stories, jabber-jawing while we quilt. Jonah says this dude could hardly swing a hammer, let alone use a drill. Oh, your buddy who stripped that screw? I've seen people who were not good with hammers. And, you know, the thing is about hammers, and we're talking about slamming our thumbs with the hammer, is it doesn't matter how good you are with the hammer. You use it enough, you're going to smash your thumb. I mean, we know that. It's just a fact. It's inevitable. You know, the more nails and shit you hit with the hammer, or whatever you hit, the better your chance at hitting your thumb. And I've seen people who were not good with the hammer. Oh my gosh. You know what I don't like? Is when you got one of them two-man jobs where one guy has to hold something and the other guy hits it with a hammer. I don't like that. I don't like being the holdee, or the holder. That, I guess you'd call it, being the holder. You ever have one of those deals where you gotta hold something and somebody hits it? Usually big things, like with a sledgehammer. Oh my gosh, I hate that. Sounds like you wouldn't want to be in that position with this dude from your shop class, Jonah. Or construction trade, or whatever the hell they call it now. But yeah, those are tasks that always stunk. Was having to hold shit while somebody else uses a hammer on it. It's terrible. But I'll tell you, one time I got hurt. I hurt my thumb pretty damn bad. Was on an abrasive, a sanding disc. I got a sanding disc mounted to my lathe and had some really coarse ass sandpaper one time, and I was shaping something on there and slipped, and my thumb, oh my gosh, it took a chunk of the tip of my thumb off just like that, man. Let me see, I'm trying to click the, let's see, Jonah says he would always bend the nail or completely miss. We have had building competitions in class to build and frame walls. Well, he was one of the guys I had on my team. He took 10 years to fix one nail. Okay, he was that guy. Yes. We've all known that guy. We've all known that guy who takes forever to do it. You know, one thing I'll tell you about hammering stuff, using a good old-fashioned hammer on stuff, is I've never had a great selection of hammers, like good sizes. You know, I've never had one of them huge hammers. That's really good for framing and stuff. Real heavy bastard. Never had one of those. Always got those just mediocre, I don't even know what size hammers they are. Just your standard hammer and tack hammers. Never had those big bastards. I've seen some pretty rad looking hammers. They had at Menards one time. Looked like they got made by West Coast Choppers or something like that, or whatever the hell that company is. Saw some hammers that looked like tomahawks on one side and a hammer on the other, and ones with like tribal metal shit on them. They got all kinds of crazy stuff now for hammers, and crazy prices too. But you know, one thing I got to get going that I haven't had running for a long time is my air compressor. Got an old air compressor, and I've got to get a belt for that thing, and it's got a real funky pulleys on it. It's gonna take a weird ass belt for that baby, but I need it. So I need to start using my nail gun again. It's been forever. And nail guns, oh my gosh, can be such a blessing. Jonah says, my hammer is fancy. I have a nail set on it. Nice. It's all beat up after 2 years of work in the shop. I have orange paint on it from knocking out drywall. Well, that's a good thing. Gives your hammer personality. Shows that you've actually used it, you know. It's kind of like a truck. You know, that guy who has a truck that's several years old, and you can tell he's never used it for hauling anything. Still in pristine condition. The bed's still nice. You know, no scratches on it, no dents or dings. And you know, and you wonder why that person ever got a truck. You know, I have neighbors like that have trucks like that. Got these nice ass pickup trucks, and they don't use them for anything, for hauling anything. They just drive them. I've got some neighbors like that. And I myself too much with my neighbors, but now that I think about it, it's like, why the hell do these people have these trucks? You know, I don't know if it's just maybe it's some kind of compensation thing. Maybe there's a deep psychological issue going on there. You know, maybe they're trying to be more manly by having a truck. I don't know. I don't have a truck, damn it. I guess I'm secure and confident in my masculinity, and I don't have thousands of dollars to get a damn truck. Those shits are expensive, man. Brand new trucks are idiotically priced. I've never had an old truck, though. Never had an old truck. How about you guys? Anybody have a truck? Mike, you got a truck? You know, I know one thing about trucks, though. Is that I know when people get a truck, I know this from friends and family that have bought trucks, all of a sudden everybody starts talking to them. They want to borrow that truck, or they want them to move shit, you know. Jonah says, I wish I had something to work in here at home. I miss building things in the shop. Well, you come over to my house, help me do some remodeling. There you go. I'll pay you in experience. How do you like that? Yes. Not minimum wage, premium wage experience. Doesn't that sound good? I'll tell you, because I have a project but seriously, I got a project I'm going to be working on. That's my den, family room, whatever Teresa's calling it this week. And I'm going to be making custom molding for all of it. And that's going to be, you know, that's kind of one of the challenges I got going on here, is designing and molding for it. You know, now I've got that wallpaper up. I don't know if I ever showed off that I finally got my damn wallpapering done. But got a bamboo forest kind of theme thing going on in my family room. And so what we're actually going for is an Asian theme. So it'd be nice if I could come up with something that would like emulate bamboo for the molding and trim work. But, you know, I'm going to have to get creative on that stuff, which is kind of fun in itself, you know. But, yeah, because I got a whole bunch of trimming I have to do around here. But that's where the old nail gun comes in handy. That's why I got to get my nail gun up and running. Let's see what Jonah has to say. Jonah says, I made 4 picnic tables with my friend Zach in the matter of 2 days. Damn. We also built and framed walls for a shed on our own to prove to the class that we do work. We would get shit from others saying we don't do anything. Well, Mr. Moeller let us prove them wrong. Nice. Nice. Put the money where your mouth was. You put the wood where your mouth is. That's what you did, Jonah. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Jonah says, I would love to be able to help sometime. Construction is one of the jobs I would like to do in the Air Force. Ah, cool. Well, maybe sometime you can. You know, sit around. Well, not sit around, but do some trimming. That's the main thing that needs done. You know, and like I said, I got to be creative. I want to come up with something different, something unique, but also look good. Not, you know, sometimes unique is not good. Sometimes unique can be pretty bad. But, man, coffee's getting cold. I need to add some coffee to it. Oh, man. There we go. Hopefully that'll warm her up. Okay. There we are. Oh, yeah. I need to get busy with my woodworking. I have been, I don't know, been away from it for too long. I need to get back to it. I think it'd be some good therapy for me, actually, is getting back to doing what I used to do. But let's see if this warmed it up at all. Yes, it's much warmer. There's something spirit lifting about having a warm cup of coffee, isn't there? Or tea, although I don't drink tea that often. But yeah, there's something kind of pick-me-up-ish feeling about your coffee being nice and warm. Nice. Man, speaking of coffee, what does everybody drink anyways? Mike, you a coffee guy? I don't know. I don't know if we've talked about coffee before. I know Jonah drinks coffee. What brands do you guys drink? You know, what we tend to drink here on a regular basis is not my favorite coffee, I'll admit it. We tend to drink Maxwell House because it's affordable. Plain and simple. You know, Maxwell House does not knock my socks off as far as taste-wise. I think it's fine coffee for like everyday drinking, you know. It's nothing special. It's dependable. It's always pretty much got the same flavor, which is not very strong. It's just plain old ass American coffee. Now, if we got what I, would prefer, we'd be drinking that 8 o'clock coffee all the time. But that shit is expensive, so we don't drink it all the time. That's a treat coffee. But, yeah, what kind of coffee do you guys like? I've had chock full of nuts coffee. That's pretty good. I grew up drinking Folgers at my mom and dad's house. Folgers coffee was pretty much the go-to coffee. But lately we've been drinking Maxwell House. It's good and cheap. Let's see. Jonah says anything warm that tastes good is good pick-me-up. I drink coffee and tea when I want something warm. Yeah. Every now and then I'll make myself drink some tea because what happened was I went on a big tea kick one time. I don't know what the hell got into me, but I was like, I want to drink tea, and, talking to Teresa, I want to try different teas or whatever. We went out and got all these different teas over a matter of, a couple months. So then what happens is I get off of the tea kick, but the tea is still in the cupboard. It's still in the pantry. So we've got a bunch of tea, so that means I need to drink it. So every now and then I'll tell myself, get one of those damn teas out and drink that stuff. And so I'll have tea, But it's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's any better for you than coffee, health-wise. I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to drink any of this shit in excess. But I drink coffee in excess, for certain. Which, and then I wonder sometimes why I'm jittery or nervy, and it's like, idiot, you drank a pot of coffee. What do you think's going to happen, But I come by that honestly, I had a dad who drank coffee all day long and was an insomniac to boot. And wondered why he was an insomniac. But, not picking on my dad, but that's just how it was. We drank a lot of damn coffee. But, yeah, Hills Brothers. You guys ever have Hills Brothers coffee? That's one you don't see very often. If I ever see that stuff when I'm out and about, I grab it. I grab Hills Brothers because it's not around much, and I like the taste of it. It used to be a major coffee brand at one time, was Hills Brothers, but I don't know why it kind of disappeared. I don't know why the hell that is, but it did. Jonah says, I love peppermint tea. I always think about candy canes when I do drink it. I like other flavors as well. I just can't remember what they all are. If I don't have tea, it's usually Folgers coffee. Yeah, Folgers is good standby coffee. You know, to me, it's kind of like Maxwell House. It doesn't have any specific distinctive flavor to it that makes it stand out, and you're like, that's Folgers coffee. You know, it doesn't have that effect, kind of like Maxwell House. It's decent coffee, but it's not anything extreme. It's kind of like in the beer world, Budweiser or something like that. It's just standard, you know. Which beer-wise, speaking of beer, the other day I had a chance to try some really funky beers. When I had my party, my brother-in-law came over and brought some funky beers. He's always got those weird, never heard of them before brands of beer. You know, he's a beer connoisseur. And I missed out on that. I just wasn't in a beer mood that night. Plus, I had taken some medicine that probably would not have interacted good with the beer. So I didn't drink any beer that night. Just got smoke in my eyeballs. Oh, gosh. Tearing up here. There we go. It's a wonder that doesn't happen more often. Old smoke in the eyeball. Stick a burning cigarette in my face every 10 seconds, and I only get smoke in my eyes once every few weeks. Amazing, isn't it? Maybe my glasses help shield that shit. But, so what's the big excitement going on, guys? What'd you get that special somebody? Do you have a special somebody to get something for? Mike, what'd you get your wife? What's a big Christmas present you can share? Or does she peek at wasted lunch? Is that something you gotta worry about? Jonah, the young lady you've been talking to, did you get her anything? Are you gonna get her something? Are you guys at that point? I can't say what I got my wife. I can't say because there's a chance that she will watch us. So I really can't put it out there. But I will say that it took me a while to get the big gift for her. I got it when the hell did I get it? I got it a week ago. Finally got the big present, you know. Had a bunch of little stuff for my wife that I had already gotten, but finally got that big gift. The shock and awe gift, you know, the gift, that gift, the one that makes that noise when they open it. Finally got that gift. And boy, when I got the big gift, I felt instant relief over that. Instant relief. Because, I don't know, I wasn't trying to put it off. I just hadn't gotten that big gift. And I couldn't really decide on which specific thing to get my wife. And then I finally found it, finally had the time to go shopping without my wife. That was a big part of it too. And so when I got her, it was like, whew, I'm done. I'm done. Done shopping for my wife. Another thing to check off the list, you know. But, and now that's bringing up the whole gift wrapping thing. Still have gifts I have to wrap for my wife, though. I'm not done with that. That's a pain in the ass, guys. Mike, you probably know about that. When you got stashed gifts and you share the house with the person you're stashing your gifts from, that can be a pain. So I really need to get that shit done. That's a real nice way of putting it, huh? Go out and spend all this money on gifts and then call them shit. But, let's see. Jonah says, I have thought about it. I just need to make sure it's the perfect gift beforehand. Good luck with that, dude. Good luck with that. Because if you have what I call it, and I coined a term a long time ago. I've been using it for years with my wife. I call it mentality. Okay? And basically, that is your excuse, guys, when you're not good at shopping. Okay? When you're not good at wrapping gifts. When you can't think of what the hell you want when you're asked what you want for Christmas. When you can't remember your anniversary. When you can't remember your first date. Okay? When you can't remember any of your kids' birthdays. All right? Claim mentality. All right? That's your excuse. It's a biological excuse. All right? Which, yes, I invented the term, but you're free to use it. Mentality. Just claim mentality. And so, Jonah, that's what you're struggling with right now is mentality. Unless you are way more in touch with your feminine side than I am, and most dudes are, you're going to have trouble finding the perfect gift. I mean, my perfect gift for my wife basically boiled down to me pretty much asking her what the hell she really wanted for Christmas. I mean, like she asked me what I want for Christmas, but I know she already has a good idea as to what to get me. You know, she already knows when she asks me anyways. Jonah says that would be rough trying to hide gifts from someone who's living in the same house. Good luck with that. It is. It's really tough. And you know what you got to worry about is them wanting to use your hiding space for their hiding space. That's a problem. Jonah says if you can't remember an anniversary, you are screwed. Yeah, you're a low-life piece of shit. It's what it boils down to. It's what it boils down to. What I should do, but haven't done, is take my smartphone that's in the hands of a not-so-smart guy and make me a note in there that has important dates. My kids' birthdays. My wife's phone number. My phone number, for crying out loud. My anniversary. My first date with my wife. You know, because all this stuff is important to her. Okay, but she remembers all this shit. You know? Jonah says I have multiple ideas for a gift as well. Yeah, well, good luck with that. You can do the eeny, meeny, miny, mo thing. Okay. You can do the hinting around at it to the girl and see what she says. But then, you know, the problem with that is you're pretty much telling her what you're getting her. You know, that's the problem with choosing a gift that way. When you're basically hinting at what you're getting, it's not going to be a surprise anymore. So, you can eeny, meeny, miny, mo that stuff. I mean, that's always been a classic. You can do the what costs more, and you can do the make your choice based on am I a cheapskate, and I'll choose the cheapest thing, or do I put more value in things that cost more money? Does that make me better because I bought the more expensive thing? You can do that too. Jonah says, "Hey, Dad, guess what today is?" Tuesday? No, it's my birthday. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a bad thing, but, it's real easy to forget birthdays. For me. And my wife remembers all that shit. So, she remembers everybody's birthday. She remembers our daughter's ex-boyfriend's birthdays. And friends that we haven't seen forever, she'll remember their damn birthdays. So, it's not my fault I'm dumb. It's not my fault I don't remember these damn birthdays. It's mentality. It's the way my brain is designed. I have a biological excuse. Guys are not good at remembering dates. Period. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. There are things that guys tend to be better at than girls, and things that girls tend to be better at than guys. And I think girls tend to be better at remembering dates. Not to say there aren't exceptions to the rule, but I think I'm right on this one. I really do. Let's see, Jonah said, "I once bought a beautiful necklace as a Christmas gift. I will leave that there, LOL." Okay. Once bought a beautiful necklace as a Christmas gift. Alright, well, sounds like a good gift. Or are you talking about giving somebody a pearl necklace? And in that case, I sure hope you didn't have to buy it. But I'm not 100% certain what you are talking about. I'll just leave it there. I'll leave that there. But anyways, yeah, necklaces are good. Necklaces are good. The bad thing to buy for a girl is clothing. Don't buy clothes for a girl. Do not buy clothes for a girl. My wife already suggested, I'd like that sweater over there. Or that shirt over there. No. That instantly was scratched off my list, because here's the thing. Buy clothes for a girl and you get them in the wrong size, you're an asshole. Okay? You get them too big, then you're saying they're fat. If you get them too small, then they get to find out they're too fat. Don't buy clothes for a girl. Never, ever, ever as a gift. Unless that lady picks up that item of clothing and says, "Can you buy me this right now?" Don't buy clothes for a girl. It's a horrible idea. Horrible idea. Jonah says it was a great gift, but someone I'm no longer with. Well, that happens. It had meaning behind it that was specifically for them. It's a nice gift, and here's the thing. Although the relationship's over and they still got the necklace, unless they gave it back, which means you can re-gift it. But if they didn't and they kept the necklace, just look at it as a fond memory. Just because you're not with them anymore, you still had some good times or whatever, and that's worth it. Jonah says, yeah, clothes is a huge no-go unless she asks for you to buy it. Exactly. That's dangerous territory. If you want to be safe, you don't get that kind of shit. It's bad. That's like when you're asked, do I look fat in this? I mean, by a woman. You know how to answer that. The answer is always no. No, 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 no. A big part of being a guy is knowing what questions you say no to and what questions you say yes to. Do I look good in this? Yes. It doesn't matter if you're looking or not. The answer is still yes. It doesn't matter if you're half asleep. The lights are off. Yes, you look good in it. You know, these are things you need to know. Jonah, I'm throwing that out for you because you're a young guy. If you don't know that already, that's just how it is. Um, so I don't even know why women even ask these questions anymore. Jonah says no hard feelings towards them whatsoever. Just the thought of the meaning behind the gift was huge. Oh, okay. So that was something you really thought about for this girl, and yeah. Did you get your heart broke or something? It's rough stuff. Yeah, well, that stuff's gonna happen. Yeah, dating is a tough racket. It really is. Jonah says, never say a girl does not look good in something unless you are prepared to get slapped. Yeah, you just don't. You just don't. Us guys tend not to do that kind of shit as much as the girls do. Don't get me wrong, I'll say, do I look alright in this? Well, that's about the extent of it. Do I look alright in this? I'm not saying, do I look fine in this? Do I look studly in this? Or anything like that. It's, do I look alright? Jonah says, yes, I did, but you live and you learn. You told somebody they didn't look good in something? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Told a girl they didn't look good in something? Damn. I guess you do live and you learn. Yeah, well, see, I already knew those answers, those questions from watching my parents and interact with one another and, learn from others when it comes to that stuff so you don't ruin your own life. Let somebody else ruin theirs and learn from them. No, my parents, I'm not saying they ruin their lives. I'm just saying learn from other people. It's easier that way than learning on your own. But some people are bound and determined to shoot themselves in the foot too. I'm not saying you're one of those people, Jonah. I'm just saying some people, no matter how much advice you give them, they're still going to do the complete opposite thing. That person who you've gone through the exact same situation they're going through and you warn them left and right, do not do this, absolutely do not do this, and they still do it anyways. Then you're like, well, they deserved it. See, Jonah says, no about having a broken heart. I would never tell a girl she doesn't look good in something. I don't want to die. Yeah. And that's it. That's it, dude. I mean, but that's where you got to be careful, and you got to do something that is very unmanly when it comes to women. It's when you got to do something that is completely against guy nature. If you want to answer questions right, you have to do something that is totally against what we truly are. You got to actually listen to what they say. Yeah, that means when they talk, you actually listen to them. It's tough. Admittedly, it is a tough thing to do. But you got to actually listen to what they say, or else you're going to be saying yes to a no question or no to a yes question. See the problem there? And you don't want that to happen. So yeah, it pays to actually, I know it's not fun, just like asking for directions is not a fun thing to do. You got to pay attention to them sometimes. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. But sometimes you got to put down that magazine or the newspaper or your phone and quit reading it, quit paying attention, and actually listen to what your woman has to say. Oh my gosh, there goes the clock there. That's a different tune than it played the last time, I think. But, oh my gosh, is it really that time? Oh my gosh, it's 1:05. I need to be wrapping it up so I can get off here and start wrapping it up. I gotta help wrap some presents around here. Gotta get some more presents wrapped. So I'm going to be hopping off of here, guys. Thanks for participating. I appreciate it very much. It's always good to holler with you guys, and hopefully some people who watch us will end up hopping in sometime and can, doing some participating of their own. Hopefully we'll get more people participating in this. That'd be good too. I don't know, but yeah. Time is 1:06 Oven Standard, which means I got to get off here. Jonah says, have a great day, Paul. Thank you, Jonah. You have a great day as well. Mike, you have an awesome day too. Sean's already left us. And I want to say thank you to anybody who's watched this program and wish them a great day too. In the meantime, I will bid you adieu. Whatever's going on, guys, look out for your fellow brothers and sisters out there. Stay out of trouble, and I will see you later. Bye.